criminal trespass. Second count, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Pretrial.
18 total. 2022 failure to appear. Appears to have an open case out of Miami for trespassing, disorderly conduct, resisting officer without violence. Open case in DeKalb County, terrorist threats and hoax devices. On probation in Fulton for just like 2 different disorderly conducts. 2022 failure to appear, 2021 failure to appear, 2019 criminal damage to property. That's it.
All right, State.
Your Honor, the only thing I'd add is I show another FTA in 2022. So that'd be 2 in 2022 and 1 in 2021. In this matter, officer was working an approved extra job at the target location at 3535 Peachtree Road, Atlanta. Defendant was asked to leave by store security and refused. When security informed defendant to leave, the defendant became aggressive. Officer attempted to place the defendant in handcuffs, and defendant began to tense and resist arrest in a violent manner. Your Honor, given the recent history, the recent FTAs, we're asking for a $2,000 surety bond, a stay away order from Target at 3535 Peachtree Road in Atlanta, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Does that break down 1,000 each?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. PD admin.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 33 years old. He's lived in Georgia for over 10 years, and he's originally from Miami, Florida. He's gotten his high school diploma, and he also went to technical college in Florida. He tells me that he firmly denies these allegations and maintains his innocence until he's proven guilty. And these allegations are for nonviolent offenses. He does agree to stay away from the incident location. I do not believe that he poses a significant threat. Despite his FTAs, which are recent, he assures me that he intends to return to court to see this case through. I would request a signature bond through the jail for Mr. Campbell at a reasonable amount, as he does not have the financial means to pay at this time. And setting a surety bond would be no bond at all.
All right, due to his history and the 2 FTAs last year and 1 the year before, I'm going to order $2,000 surety bond. With that surety bond, that breakdown, Ms. Bridgewater is $1,000 on each of the charges. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Stay away from the target at 3535 Peachtree Road. Stay away. And I guess that's it, 2,000 surety.
Next, Your Honor, we have position number 6, Mr. Dennis Everett.
23 CR 005218Y. Dennis Everett, charged at 1 count of simple battery and 2nd count public drunk. Pre-trial.
20 total. I got a 2022 failure to appear out of Arizona. Open case out of DeKalb County for simple assault, terrorist threats, and failure to appear. 2022 assault and assault against a first responder and disorderly conduct arrest. 2022 failure to appear, obstruction, public intoxication conviction. 2019 and 2020 failure to appears. Got 2020 trespass conviction, obstruction conviction, and another FTA, and disorderly conduct conviction, along with theft and DUI.
Okay. State.
Your Honor, this occurred on Saturday at 1:34 p.m. Miss White, who is 11 weeks pregnant, was at the above location. The incident location is the Midtown MARTA station. Defendant approached her aggressively, grabbing his crotch while screaming and muttering incoherently. As Miss White tried to walk away, the defendant repeatedly blocked her path. Miss White removed a pocket knife from her purse in case she needed to protect herself, and the defendant then lunged at her and tried to grab her arm. Miss White, fearing for her safety, cut the defendant. She then retreated and called MARTA police. Officers viewed the surveillance footage and confirmed Miss White's statements. They also observed the defendant drinking from a whiskey bottle, falling on the ground, waking up unknown patrons and urinating on the trackway. There is a foreign county hold out of DeKalb County. We were able to make contact with Ms. White, and she confirmed that she does not know the defendant. She confirmed the events in the warrant, and she stated that she is scared. This MARTA location is her primary mode of transportation, and she has to use it. Your Honor, we're asking for a $6,000 surety bond. That's the bond that's already been given. That'd be $5,000 on the assault charge, $1,000 on the public drunk charge. Stay away from MARTA. No further contact with Miss Jada White, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. My understanding is that Ms. White will be on the Zoom call, and so I'd like to sound for her.
All right, Jada White. Jada White. Don't think she's on. Go ahead, Ms. McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 31 years old. He denies the allegations, Your Honor. He said that he did not threaten anyone, nor was he aggressive towards anyone. He was simply at the MARTA station waiting for transportation to get home. I understand that my client has some history, Your Honor, but the bond amount that the state is asking is excessive based on what the allegations are against my client. I would ask the court to consider giving him a significantly lower bond so he can get out of jail, because he's not in a position to post bond as requested by the state. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Due to the history, I'm going to leave the bond at the $6,000 surety bond, $5,000 on the simple assault, $1,000 on the public drunk. Stay away from MARTA during this bond term, or bond conditions will be staying away from MARTA. So if you need transportation, Mr. Everidge, to take other ride shares and things of that nature, but you cannot use MARTA while you're on bond. Stay away from the victim, Jada White. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons or guns while on bond. That's all right now.
Next, we're gonna go to position number 7, Mr. Ashton Glover.
Huh?
Ashton Glover, sorry.
That is 23 CR 005217A, Ashton Glover, charged with 1 count of simple battery, family violence, and a 2nd count of criminal trespass. Retrial.
5th arrest, 2018, failure to appear. Appears to have an open battery DV, 17 CR 005513A. I'm not sure if that's really still open. 2016 battery, 2015 disorderly conduct conviction. That's it.
All right, state.
Your Honor, in this matter, officers met with Mr. I believe it's Lalouch Zane, who informed officers that he'd been in a relationship with Mr. Glover. Mr. Zane was trying to drop off the defendant at the location after spending part of the day together, and the defendant refused to exit the vehicle. Mr. Zane then removed the defendant's belongings from his trunk and placed them against the building, and the defendant then exited the vehicle and began pushing and grabbing Mr. Zane and broke his glasses. Officers viewed the video provided by Mr. Zane, which showed the defendant doing the same. Your Honor, in light of a 2015 disorderly conduct conviction, 2016 inhalation of model glue, and the what I also show as an open case for battery, we're asking for a $3,500 surety bond. That'd be $3,000 on the simple battery family violence, $500 on the criminal trespass, no further contact with Mr. Zane, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. We were able to make contact with the victim in this case. He confirmed the events in the warrant and stated that he is in fear of the defendant and does not want contact. He additionally asked that we order a stay away for his residence. That address I can provide in the chat. But I would like to sound from Mr. Zane. I was told he'd be on Zoom, and I saw someone coming off camera during the last case.
All right, Mr. Zane. Mr. Zane. Not sure if he's here. PD Abden.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client was living in California. He recently returned to Georgia to take care of his mom, who is sick with lupus. The incident location is where he volunteers. It's called the 811 Club. He does literature-based volunteer work there. He tells me that the prior family violence battery is no longer an open case. And it is also my understanding that the complaining witness is his partner, and he tells me that he's not afraid of him. Of course, the solicitor's office said that they spoke with him, but he's not here today. I don't think that my client poses a danger. And I would also agree with the stay away from the Mr. Zane's residence. However, like I said, the 8111 Roswell Road address, that's where he volunteers, and I would ask that he can return there. And then I'd also ask for a signature on bond through the jail at a reasonable amount. He's not currently working. He takes care of his mom, and setting a high bond would be no bond at all for my client. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I messaged Ms. Hawley just to clarify with the court. We are not asking for a stay away from the incident location, only from the victim's residence.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to order the $4,000 surety bond. 3,500 on the simple battery, 500 on the criminal trespass. Stay away from the victim's residence. The victim is Lyle Zane, Mr. Zane. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I think that is it. Anything else?
Your Honor, I didn't hear if you said no alcohol, drugs, weapons.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, is it also a no contact with the victim? Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I
believe she
did,
said
but
no for the-
I will
Yeah.
repeat it. No,
I just wanted to make sure.
right.
Thank
Thank you. No
Thank
further
you, Your Honor.
contact with the victim. Thank you.
Question? Raise your hand.
I have a question as well. So what are the charges that I'm being charged with? And what is the surety bond? I just need to know what clarity, what that is.
Your attorney can advise you, but you
Yep.
are being charged at one count of simple battery, family violence, and one count of criminal trespass. Those are the two charges.
Okay, and with regards to the family trespassing, how is that related?
Mr. Glover, so I would just advise you not to speak at this moment. We're going to call you back if you have any questions to talk to you.
Okay,
Oh, is that okay?
yeah, that's okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 8, Mr. Tyrone Goodwin.
All right, this is 23 CR 005216F. And this is Tyrone Goodwin, charged with one count of battery family violence, the second count of cruelty to children, the third degree, and the third count of cruelty in the third. Pre-trial?
Fifth arrest. I got last arrest being in 07. Battery, simple battery, DB, trespass, dead docket.
All right, state.
Sorry, Your Honor, I thought I got the mute button. I guess I didn't. In this matter, our victim, Ms. Tynesha Goodwin, was disciplining her child. The defendant confronted her about that and an argument ensued. Defendant struck Ms. Goodwin on the arm with a belt. Ms. Goodwin had marks and scratches that were observable by the officers. Additionally, 2 children, NG and JG, were present when the incident occurred and witnessed it. Ms. Goodwin is the daughter of the defendant, and they've lived together for about 20 years. We're asking for a $4,000 surety bond, $3,000 on the family balance battery charge, and $500 on each cruelty count. We're also asking for no further violent contact with Miss Tynesha Goodwin, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Your Honor, the basis of that is we made contact with the victim. She confirmed the events in the warrant, but stated that they have no history of any violence and would like him to return to the residence. My understanding is that she will be on Zoom, so I'd like to sound for Miss Tynesha Goodwin.
Ms. Goodwin?
Yes, hello.
Hi, how are you? Ms. Goodwin, do you have a jacket or blouse or something to cover up with?
Yes, 1 second.
Might need. Oh.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Do you wish to address the court today?
Yes, Tyrone Goodwin is my father.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Raise your right hand for me so I can swear you in. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes,
All right, and put your hand down. And I do understand that he is your father. You want contact with Mr. Goodwin?
yes, we live together. He is the man of the house, the household, the breadwinner. He does help me take care of my 2 kids, transport them to and from school. He does provide and has a job that we wish that he continues to uphold. And I do not feel endangered, intimidated, or threatened by him returning back home to his family.
All right, so there won't be any more incidents. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to hear from Ms. McLeod, and then I'll give my ruling. Mute
Thank you.
yourself. Thank you.
Your Honor, my client is 60 years old. This incident occurred at his home where he lives with his wife and 3 adult children, and his daughter has 2 young children. He said his daughter was disciplining his grandson, and he just intervened because he felt she was being a little harsh. He did not deliberately strike her, Your Honor. This happened when he was trying to take the strap away from her. My client has no significant criminal history, and anything that he has is remote. So I would ask the court to consider giving him a signature bond. It can be conditional on no further violent contact with his daughter, because I was able to speak to his wife, and she essentially told me that that was what the entire family would prefer, Your Honor. So that's what we're requesting, a signature bond conditioned on no further violent contact with the alleged victim.
All right. I will order a $4,000 signature bond to the jail. That will be $3,000 on the battery, family violence, $500 on each of the cruelties. I normally don't do it this order that this fast, that you go back into the home, Mr. Goodwin, but I'm hoping there has been some cooling down and that there will be no more incidents. So I'm going to allow it, since the victim, your daughter, has spoken. So there will be no further violent contact, and no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, or no guns while on bond. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome.
Your Honor, that's SOB jail or pretrial?
SOB jail.
Thank you. Next, we're gonna go to position number 9, Mr. Sylvester Gray.
All right. This is 23 CR 005215B. 1 count of simple battery against police officer, dog, or corrections or detention officer, and a 2nd count willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Pretrial.
I got first arrest.
First, okay, state.
Your Honor, in this matter, officers responded to GSU property at 33 Gilmer Street on Saturday. Defendant refused to leave the property after being given several commands to leave. When an officer approached the defendant, he took a combative stance and began throwing items at the officer, included a plastic bottle, aluminum soda can, and then a glass beer bottle. Your Honor, we're asking for a $1,500 surety bond. That'd be $750 on each charge. A stay away from Georgia State University property, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. My understanding is this was also recommended for a MH evaluation, Your Honor.
Okay. PD Abden.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 33 years old. He's originally from New York. He moved to Georgia for work and he's lived here for about a month. He finished high school. He went to technical school in Jacksonville, Florida, and he studied welding. He currently works at Waffle House as a cleaner. He is recommended for an unsecured judicial release. He intends to return and see this case through. I do not believe he poses a threat, and I would ask for a signature bond.
All right, I'm going to order a $1,500 signature bond. With that signature bond, it will be through, well, he's only been in Georgia for a month. Is that what I heard?
Yes, he's been here for about a month, but he has a job and has friends here.
Do we have an address?
I can grab it. We have 89 Ellis Street, Northeast. I can put it in the chat if you'd like.
Yeah, just put it in the
SOB
chat.
jail was a recommendation. I should have told you
Gotcha.
that. My bad.
I just want to make sure, Mr. Gray, that he's going to return to court. So $1,500 SOB jail, $750 on each of the charges. I'm going to order a stay away from Georgia State University at 33 Gilmer Street. I'm assuming he's not a student.
No, he's not.
Okay. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while on bond, or guns while on bond. And I won't order an MH at this time.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, I should clarify, the state's recommendation is that he be placed in MH court, misdemeanor MH court, not in evaluation.
I don't know if he'll qualify for that either.
So this is the first
Understood.
I'm hearing of it. Maybe he would be interested. I just didn't get a chance to talk to him about this.
I'm not sure that I hear anything that alarms me at the moment that it would be that issue. Unless you determine that later, then I guess you all can make the recommendation, Ms. Abden.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, Your Honor, whenever you're ready, we have position number 11, Mr. Dion Jones.
This is 23 CR 005214C. Charge of 1 count of simple battery, family violence, pretrial.
11 total. He was arrested on the 25th of this month for suspended license. And I guess he was brought to Fulton County. 2021 probation, obstruction conviction, 2019 FTA and probation violation. Got a 2019 simple battery conviction, 2017 possession of a Schedule 1 controlled substance, theft by receiving first offender, and a 2014 CWAC. There was no bill. That's it.
All right, state.
Your Honor, in this matter, a disagreement arose between the defendant and Ms. Kyla Stapleton when the defendant asked her to exit the vehicle. She refused to exit the vehicle, so the defendant went around, opened her car door, and then pulled her out of the vehicle. We were able to make contact with the victim. She stated that they are in a relationship and they share 3 children. She also confirmed the events in the warrant. but stated that she's not in fear of the defendant. We are concerned about the nature of the charges, so we'd ask for a $3,000 surety bond with no further violent contact with Miss Kyla Stapleton and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. I do see who I believe Miss Stapleton to be on the Zoom when Your Honor is ready to address her.
All right, Ms. Stapleton. Do you wish to address the court today?
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on, I need to swear you in. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Are you in fear of Mr. Dion Jones?
No, Your Honor, I am not.
I understand you have 3 children together.
Yes, we do, and we work very well together. We've squashed all of everything that has gone on between us, and it will never happen again. He helps me out when I fall short. I help him when he falls short, and he's a really great father.
Okay, this occurred June the 7th.
The 7th, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just saw that it was June the 7th for the incident date, and I apologize, I didn't say what that was. So I'm assuming there's been an ample cooling off period.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you all reside together?
Not at the time right now, no.
All right. Any cross-examination?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. And you may go ahead. Thank you. That's all I have. You can mute yourself till I've given my order. Thank you. Ms. Abner.
Thank you, Your Honor. You're all good. So my client is 29 years old. He was born in Georgia. He's lived here his whole life. He's a lot of family here. As you've heard, he's a great father to his 5 children, 3 of which are with Kayla, who we just heard from. As she stated, she's not afraid of him, and she wants him to go back to being the great dad that he is. And he tells me that he does maintain his innocence. He does deny the allegations, and he would be okay with the no violent contact. He does ask that he return to the address, which I don't believe was a condition. And I would ask for a signature bond for Mr. Jones.
Where did you say he works?
He works. Give me 1 second.
I work at
He works at Kimbrough Towing as a driver, and he's the tow truck driver.
Okay. All right, I'm going to order the $3,000 signature bond. I'm going to order that through the jail, since it looks like we have the contacts and employment. And since this was some months ago, I'm going to give them a chance that there will be no further incidences. I'm going to order no further violent contact with the victim, Ms. Kyra Stapleton. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess that'll be it for now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 12, Mr. Markel King.
Right, this is 23 CR 005233Y. Charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence pretrial.
20 total. Last arrest was in March out of Cook County, Illinois. Possession of marijuana. I saw a 2011 ag battery on a peace officer resisting conviction. I don't think I saw any other violence outside of that.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened August 26th of this year at 1033 Hollywood Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Officers were dispatched to the location based on a 911 call about a domestic fight. The caller was Miss Candace Wallace, who greeted officers from the bushes. She advised officers that her boyfriend, aka the defendant, had gotten into a verbal dispute about his vehicle. Once they arrived at the home at the 1033 Hollywood Road, defendant began to trash her residence. At that time, Ms. Wallace called her mother to contact 911 because the defendant was irate and he was cursing her out. When she stepped outside of the residence, the defendant then dragged her by her hair in an attempt to bring her back inside the home. And that is when she ran into the bushes to hide. Officers observed scrapes to her elbows and hands. They were also provided identification because the defendant was not there when they arrived, but he was located nearby walking down the street. After further investigations, the officer were able to speak with a neighbor who witnessed Mr. King dragging the defendant by her hair. Defendant denied that he put his hand on Ms. Wallace. The state was able to speak to Ms. Wallace, and she let us know that she won't be on Zoom, and that they've been together for 17 years, and they lived in Chicago and they moved down to Atlanta together, and they agreed to help each other get stable and then move on with their lives. She does insist that they do have a domestic violence history from Chicago. She claims that the defendant does get aggressive when he drinks, and he drinks too much alcohol. The last incident of domestic violence that they've had was this year, this May, where he physically assaulted her. Ms. Wallace, actually, I don't think it's Ms. Wallace, it's Ms. Williams, states that she is in fear of the defendant, which is why she didn't want to call the police originally. So based on that, the state is requesting a $2,500 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, weapons, or guns, to stay away from the 1033 Hollywood Road, even though considering they both live there. To my understanding, no further contact with Miss Candace Williams and not Wallace. And that's it, Your Honor.
All right, PD Amden.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 33 years old. He's originally from Chicago. He's been living in Georgia for some time, and he's been in a relationship with Miss Williams for 17 years. It is my understanding that she wants him to return and that she's not afraid of him. He currently works at RCO. It's at the airport. He's a wash attendant. He washes cars. It's rental cars that are returned, to my understanding. He would agree to no contact and agree to not return, but as I've stated, I do not feel as if, based on our conversation and my understanding that he spoke with Miss Williams, that he would be a danger to her, that she's afraid of him. And so I would ask for a signature on bond through the jail at a reasonable amount, as he cannot afford to pay a high amount. Thank you, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I just want to put back on the record that when the state talked to the victim in this case today, and she did say that she was in fear of him, and she wants not only to have no further contact with him, she also wants him to stay away from her residence, her specific words, and she would like a one-time police escort. Considering his cycles out of Illinois and this cycle in Georgia from just recently moving here, we believe 25 surety is more than reasonable, Your Honor.
And if she is afraid of him, then, we would agree to no contact. He would agree to not return to the residence. And I would still ask for a signature on bond through the jail, as he does not have the financial means for the surety bond, and that would mean that he would remain in jail. Thank you.
Well, I guess the concern I have is there's not been the ample cooling down period. This just happened on Friday or Saturday. And I am concerned about the allegations and the criminal history. So what I will do, I will order a $1,500 surety bond I will order right now a stay away from 1033 Hollywood Road. I will order no further contact with Candace Williams. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. That will complete the order of the court.
Your Honor, can I add that it's for apartment C1? I think there's a bunch of apartments there, but it's
Okay,
specifically C1.
all right,
Thank you.
all right, that'll conclude this case.
Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 13, Mr. Anthony Condor.
All right, 23 CR 005234C. Charge of 1 count of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 2nd count of theft by shoplifting, pretrial.
11 total. Last arrest was 2022, battery out of San Diego. Got a 2012 battery resisting, reckless conduct, 2011 theft.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened August 25th at 2525 Piedmont Road at the Home Depot. Officers responded to a theft call from the location. They arrived with defendant. They arrived and one of the officers had the defendant in handcuffs. And he was in possession of a 110-volt charger that the loss prevention officer at Home Depot observed him pick up, take out of the box, and then pass the registers without making any payment until he was stopped outside of the exit by the loss prevention officer. And they were able to receive the charger back. The charger was priced at $184. And upon arrest, the defendant resisted and would not let the officers handcuff him. The officers found weed, a black 9mm Smith & Wesson on his person. Considering those facts, Your Honor, the state is asking $2,000 for the theft by shopping, $500, and both equaling $2,500 surety bond. Stay away from the 2525 Piedmont Road at Home Depot, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and an anti-theft course, Your Honor.
All right. PD Abden.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 30 years old. He is originally from Chicago and he moved to Georgia more than 6 months ago for business opportunity and to work. He finished high school, got his degree, and he's planning on enrolling in part-time program to obtain his associate's degree in business administration. He works construction at AK Enterprise. It is my understanding that he firmly denies these allegations and that this was a misunderstanding. He's okay with not returning to the incident location, and I would ask that he receive a signature on bond. He does not have the financial means to afford a surety bond that the state was asking for, and that is all. Thank you.
All right, due to his history, I will order a $1,500 surety bond, $1,000 on the willful obstruction, $500 on the theft by shoplifting. With that $1,500 surety bond, stay away from 2525 Piedmont Road, which is the Home Depot. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
I say something, officer?
Your attorney will probably tell you not
Mr.
to.
Condor, I would advise you to not speak. If you have any questions, we can call you.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to say something, but I could talk about it later. I did.
Yeah, let's do that. We can give you a call later.
Okay, because yeah, I did.
Anything you say will be held against you. This is recorded. The judge is on the line, and so is the solicitor's office.
Okay, yeah, I was just trying to get a signature bond and get back to work.
So,
I have a clean background, no.
Mr. Condor, we can talk about that later, but the judge has set a $1,500 surety bond for now.
Okay.
Okay.
Your Honor, the possession of marijuana less than an ounce, was that NOD?
Yes, it was.
All right,
Oh,
thank you.
okay, 'cause I didn't have that.
Okay, you got it.
So is it still 1,500 split up the same way that you had just said?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.
And that's a good bond, correct?
Yes.
Next, we're gonna go to position 14, Mr. Alexander Lee.
All right. This is 23 CR 005232C. Charge of one count of battery family violence pretrial.
Third arrest. Last arrest was 2013, failure to appear. And a 2011 battery dismissed.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. This happened August 26th of this year at 688 Thomasville Boulevard in Atlanta. Defendant is accused of punching Miss Rhonda Chin, his fiance, in the face with a closed fist, leaving her with a busted lip and bruised chin. And I would like to sound for Miss Rhonda Chin if she's online today. Based on that, the state is asking for a 5,000 surety bond. Stay away from the location at 688 Thomasville Boulevard. No further contact with Miss Rhonda Chin. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, Your Honor, and 1 day of anger awareness.
All right. PD Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 34 years old. He was born in Florida, but he moved to Georgia about 9 years ago, Your Honor. And he has 3 minor children that he has been taking care of. 9, 11, 14. He's financially providing for them. And he is gainfully employed at Unify Security as a security officer. And he has another job that actually will be making a pay next Wednesday. As of now, he does not have any funds to pay for the bond. Your Honor, we had a 600 surety bond already. He could not even pay for that. And so there's no way that he will be able to pay for $5,000. So we would like to request for a signature on bond. And if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we would like to request for $600 surety bond remain as set. And he graduated from high school. He is completely okay with stay away and no further contact, even though he strongly prefers to have a contact because they are engaged. Thank you, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I just want to put on record that Mr. Lee was arrested for battery in 2011 and battery in 2013. I understand that's his fiance, but a busted lip and bruised chin. Yeah, I think 5,000 is reasonable.
All right, I'm going to, and I understand he has a $600 bond already set, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm going to order a $1,000 surety bond. And with that $1,000 surety bond, a stay away from 688 Thomasville Boulevard. No further contact with Rhonda Chin. With the stay away and no further contact, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Does he need a one-time escort to return or not?
Yes, he does need it.
One-time law enforcement escort to return to get personal belongings.
Yes. Can he also have third-party transfer for children visitation?
Oh, okay. And if there's visitation allowed with the parties, with the children, if it is allowed, because I don't know if he's legitimated them or not, but if it's allowed, it must be facilitated by a third party so that Mr. Lee, you don't violate the conditions of your bond. That should be it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, Your Honor, we have position number 17, Mr. Jesse Lalonde.
Said 17.
That is correct. 17.
Okay.
Yep.
23 CR 005230F. Mr. Roland, charge of one count of simple battery, pre-trial.
I got second arrest, 2019 drunk driver out of Texas. He's a resident of Florida. This was SOB jail recommendation.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened at 550 Peachtree Street, Northeast Atlanta. Officers were dispatched at Emory Midtown Hospital around 3 a.m. Near the Ambulance Bay area. They made contact with the victim, who was an emergency medical professional, Jacinta Jacks, who advised officers that defendant pushed and then punched her in her shoulder, which resulted in both parties falling to the ground. The incident was witnessed by the registered nurse and the other paramedic on shift. Based on the facts, Your Honor, and considering that she is a paramedic, the state is asking for a $4,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, to stay away from that specific location, and no further contact with Ms. Jacinta Jacks. And I would like to sound for Ms. Jacinta Jacks if she's online today, Your Honor.
Say that name again. Jacinta, what's the last name?
Jacks.
Jacks?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Jacinta Jacks, are you on the line? Jacinta Jacks. All right, go ahead, Ms. McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 40 years old. He just recently retired from the Air Force, Your Honor, where he spent 20 years in the Air Force. He is the father of a 7-year-old child, and he's currently working on his MBA. My client tells me that he was here from Florida visiting a friend. He and the friend were at the bar and they were attacked by some people. I think by the time the ambulance came to take him to the location, he was a bit disoriented and didn't realize what was going on. He did not hit anyone intentionally, Your Honor, but I just wanted the court to understand the circumstances under which he got arrested. He was taken by ambulance to this location because he had been attacked at a bar. So he was somewhat disoriented and doesn't remember any of this. Based on the fact that he has very, very limited criminal history, certainly nothing violent or anything, I would ask the court to give him a signature bond so he can get out of jail and get on with his life. He does have a good address, Your Honor. It is in Florida, which he has provided to me, Your Honor. And he definitely is not a danger to the victim or anyone else. Nothing further, Your Honor.
It sounds like he may have an issue with alcohol. I don't know. There was a 2019 DUI in Texas. And then this occurred at a bar. Well, no, this was at the Emory Midtown.
That is correct, Your Honor.
After he left a bar.
Yes, Your Honor, where someone had attacked him and his friend. So.
And he attacked a paramedic, Your Honor.
From Emory.
My client denies that he attacked anyone.
All right. I will order a $4,000 signature bond through the jail for judge. I will order a stay away from 550 Peachtree Street, which is, I understand that's Emory Midtown, unless he has to have emergency medical assistance, but he probably should pick a different hospital if all possible. No further contact with the employee Jacinta Jacks. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no guns while on bond. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons or guns while on bond. And I guess that's it. Stay away, no further contact, and no other conditions with the drugs, alcohol, and weapons. And I guess it's all out order at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Have a good week. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. You too.
All right.
Your Honor, what was that bond amount? I'm sorry.
That was a $4,000 SOB jail.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And next, we're gonna go back to position number 3, Mr. Jeffrey Biggers, the